for the club. Waiting on Nick, come pick you up.
Ago, and the kids never met her, but we still talk about her and they know about her. My dad is grandpa, and his wife insisted she was going to be a grandma and not grandma name. My dad fought hard for his wife to not have her name added like the other step grandparents. He told me the kids won't know my mom, so would I push his wife out? She wanted to be given a mom title by as well, but I only ever called her by her first name. Leilani was asking questions around my wife's family about why grandma and grandpa are married to different people and why their grandma name and grandpa name. It was explained to her that her mom's parents are divorced and she has grandparents, so their title a little differently. She said our friends talked about that. My step Ilis it said they wanted to be respected of her biological grandparents. Last weekend, my dad and his wife stopped by, and my daughter asked my dad's wife, why just grandma and not grandma name, like some of her other grandparents? My dad's wife told her it's what she wanted to be called, and she felt that what someone should call their grandma from their dad. Leilani asked her why she didn't want to respect my mom like her other grandparents wanted to respect her mom's parents by using her name too. I let her ask the questions. I said nothing. Neither did my wife. This pissed my wife off so bad, which pissed my dad off. They told me I should have stopped my daughter asking the questions, and that shouldn't have been okay with her claiming she isn't a real grandparent or a real parent to me. I told them I had always been clear that I did not consider her my parent. I was clear I wanted her to be something other than just grandma. But they insisted, and I relented for my kids' sake. They told me I shouldn't be letting my daughter asking questions dad's wife placed in the family. Let she was. Am I the asshole? No, because if she wanted to ask questions, let her ask questions. So you ain't the asshole. So let's find another one. I 41 female has a sister 47 female who has now ex-fiance 45 male who is piece of doo-doo. I know I can't fix anything for her and she has to do herself, but it hurts to watch her go through this and I just want to scream. So I'm coming here to see if I'm the H-hole for waiting for the right time to speak my mind. My sister got out of bad relationship in 2017. By 2021, she wanted to try again, going going on a few failed blind dates, after which she decided to try her co-worker who she thought was handsome. After the first date, she seemed to be under a spell. She thought she was in love. The family tried to warn her that maybe she was moving too fast, but none of our words could break her bubble. So we decided to hold our tongues for the time being. Over the next few months, she was with him night and day. Besides work, she was stuck to him like Velcro. I was never a fan of his. He was in his 40s, and I didn't have a car, barely held a job, and didn't seem to have any ambition. Just wading through life, which if how someone wants to live their life, that's their choice. But he was obviously leeching off of her and seemed to have some type of control over her. And she spent her money. He moved into her apartment not too long after, leaving the apartment he shared for with 4 to 6 roommates. He barely contributed to household duties or finances as he didn't have a steady job. Fast forward 2 years, he proposed, which she finds out he did out of guilt, so she cancels. But then affirms that he really wants to marry her. So she concedes. Red flag. I held my words cause she was hurting. She says she says to plan for the wedding little by little, then hired a wedding planner. Because she didn't want to leave anything out, she got a dress, planned for months. He picked the pics and sent out in the invitations to everyone. 2 days later, to tell her he doesn't know if he wants to marry her. I can't begin to express the heartache I heard in her voice. He moved out for a week, staying with a friend, but then recently he recently his way reasoned his way back in, saying that's not what he meant. I was overwhelmed, blah, 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 red flag. Again, I said nothing. I didn't think she was listening to anything, and I felt like a ad for keeping my mouth shut while he is obviously manipulating her. My husband thinks we're being assholes for not telling her that she's being manipulated. So what did y'all think about that story? So next one. Am I the asshole for telling my sister it is too late for apologies? My sister and her 2 kids moved in with us after she was facing homelessness after being evicted from her place. She has began from clinging with me. I have to repeatedly tell her my wife and I are not watching your kids. We gave you a place to stay. We have to constantly remind her to clean up after her and her children and not let her kids destroy things. She been if vicious if my wife and I go out. Envious if me, my wife, and I go out. And has made comments like, must be nice if my wife buys new clothes or something designer. She has been repeatedly talked to about this and told to stop. Last night, my wife and I went on a date night to go out and see a live show and get sushi. My sister rating up on of us close to 1 a.m. and yells at us how we didn't bring her the kids nothing something. How is it mean that we flaunt our lifestyle while her kids are struggling and least we could do is bring her and her kids home something? It's 1 a.m. Her kids aren't awake. My sister said she destroys little treat time and more say the home. My wife flips on her and tells my sister she needs to move out ASAP. She doesn't want her toxic ass in her home anymore. And if she's not out in 30 days, she will be getting the courts and the kids service involved to remove them from the home. And my wife told my sister how she's mentally unstable, unfit mother. She do got a point. My sister acted like I would protect her and she called my wife a bitch and saying I wouldn't let that happen. I told my sister my wife can do as she wants and it's her house too. Yep, I know that's right. My sister is one who made herself unwelcome. Yep, that's true. My sister did not apologize but made us breakfast this morning and my wife threw the plate of food away and told my sister 29 days. Time's ticking. My wife left to go speak to one of her cousins who is a lawyer this morning. My sister acted all innocent in front of her kids, who could tell her aunt's attitude was off. My sister tried apologizing to me after my wife left. Why she didn't apologize in front of the wife? And told her it's probably too late that because my wife is getting the official paperwork now. I mean, y'all not the asshole because she's the one that moved her big grown tail. Am I the asshole for telling my mom that it's her fault? This was a while ago, but basically I came home from college after fall semester and get we get about 2.5 to 3 weeks off during this time. I wanted to just stay home, relax, and hang out with my friends, but my mom wanted me to work. She wanted me to go back to the place where I worked over the summer and have me work for a couple of weeks. I tried to protest, but she didn't budge, so I had to work. For the next 2 to 3 weeks, my mom constantly complained about me having to work and not not have anything to be with my family. She wanted me to work full time. I kept telling her that I could hang out with them, but she made me work. She really got mad when I got scheduled for Christmas Eve and I would miss most of the party. I yelled at her and told her that it's her fault since she made me get a job and work, and that she didn't force me to get a job, then I would be able to go to the party. And spent the night, spent time with the family. She got upset at me and didn't talk to me for a few weeks. My sister agreed with me, but my dad extended family told me that I was a-hole. She has forgiven me, but I wonder was I the a-hole? So what did y'all think about that? Am I the asshole for freaking out at my mom's birthday party and saying I'm so tired of family shitty drama? My mom turned 60 on Saturday and we were celebrating her birthday at her aunt's house. My aunt is my mom's sister. So my parent both have kids through different relationships. My mom was married before she met my dad, and lost her husband, who is the father of Kevin and Anna and Henry. My dad wasn't married but had on and off relationship that resulted in Emma and Robbie. Emma and Robbie mom wasn't a part of their lives growing up. I think she left them when Robbie was still a baby. My parents met 2 years after my mom's first husband died. They got married 18 months later and blended their families. I, 16 female, was born another year later. Emma and Robbie loved my mom and they started calling her mom almost right away. They loved my mom for being a mom to them when their own didn't want to know them. Kevin, Anna, and Henry did not call my dad, and they never really liked it that my mom and dad got married. Emma and Robbie hates the other three because they don't call dad, and they have made it their mission to tell moms kids how shitty that is. While Kevin, Anna, and Henry hates dad kids for thinking they never ever call someone else dad. Kevin and Emma fought the worst. Mom and dad know and have been involved in these fights over years and have tried to make family less blended and more of a family. None of the siblings liked or accepted me either. For Emma and Robbie, it's jealousy that I'm my parents' bio kid, and Kevin and Anna and Henry just see me as less than and hate that I exist because I remind them their dad is gone when they see me or think about me. So I don't really fit. I have siblings, but not really because none of them ever be there for me. They never want me around. when I try to support them and if something's bad. That the summed up version of the background. This drama still exists to today. Emma and Robbie are still bitter at the other three for not claiming dad. The same old fight started at mom's birthday, and my parents were involved in it too. Some of extended family was trying to join the exhausting feud as well. I just couldn't. I'm so tired of all this. I ended up freaking out when I was mentioned, and I told them to fucking stop already, and I am sick of the drama. I am sick of rejected by both set of siblings. I am sick of everybody acting like mom's kids are wrong or not for not calling dad when they loved and remember theirs. I said everyone was making too big of a deal out of this. I said I hate being around them because they always fight. They always show how much hatred they have for each other, and I fuck is fucking stupid. After all time, I told them I was over it all, and I walked home. My parents were so mad at me when they got home. Dad told me I abandoned mom for her birthday, and mom didn't like the stuff I said. She told my little freak out was awful. Am I to hear? Am I to be honest? No, you're not the asshole, because if the situation kept going for years, of course you're not the a-hole. Okay, guys, I'm just going to do one more story and that's it. Am I the a-hole for wanting my dead mom's side of the family to attend my graduation instead of my stepmom's? I, 18 female, graduated high school about a month. I am sure you're asking why my parents decided to throw a party for months later. The truth is that June was too busy for everyone, and since I don't really care about time, we decided to do it July 6th. So my stepmom married my dad. Dad was I was about 8 or 9, and my mom passed away when I was 13. I've barely gotten to see my mom's family much in my life because she really had limited visitation with my dad starting when I was 4 and too high to notice my existence. Ever since my mom died, I have been able to get back into contact with my mom's side of the family. I talk to them a lot, and I have a lot of to learn about my family's history. But aside from that, I never really been able to see them much since I was little. Now, as for my stepmom family, her family gets to invite to in everything. It's not like I don't love them, but they attended everything, and sometimes it gets a little overwhelming because I feel like sometimes these aren't really people here for me due to our lack of biological relations, but rather here for my stepmom, given the fact they talked to me for a little bit and always go over to her and gossip about whatever someone a skirt in the family is doing on Facebook. Recently, obviously, I've been planning my graduation party. I was super excited because this is an event. I kind of include who I want at the party. Yesterday, my stepmom came into my room and asked me who I'm going to invite to my party so she can know all what's going to be there. Now, usually this topic comes up. It's more like which friends are you inviting, but this time I brought up the fact that maybe my mom's side of the family could attend since I haven't seen them so long. I expected her to be a little disappointed, sure, but I didn't expect was for her to start yelling, asking me if I was being serious, and ask if I hated her family. I told her no, and that I just wanted my mom's side of the family to see my accomplishments as I made as well. Since I haven't seen them in a long time, and they didn't get to attend the ceremony. Since my stepmom used all 7 spots to involve her family and my dad, she seemed to get more mad and tell me my mom's side of the family didn't care about me anyway since they hadn't talked to me in so long. So what? So I invited them. I asked why couldn't just invite both families, and she said that we didn't have enough room at our house, which is understandable, I guess. My dad took her side and said that I need to choose the family that been there for me all my life instead of the side that only begun to bring back communication with me 4 years ago. Am I the asshole? So, guys, that's all I have for today. So, see you in the next video. Am I the asshole for not telling my sister she's being used? I, 41 female, has a sister, 47 female, who has a Okay, what's up, YouTube? Today we gonna do Am I the Asshole video. So let's get right into it. Am I the asshole for letting my daughter ask my dad's wife why she's grandma and not grandma's name? I, 30 male, have 3 children with my wife, Lainey, 6 female, Rosie, 4 female, and Theo, 1 male. The kids have few different grandparents. My wife's parents are divorced, and her mom and dad and grandma and grandpa, her stepdad and stepmom, are grandpa name and grandma name. We call my mom grandma, but she died a couple of decades ago. Dang, I forgot where I was at. Damn.
This shit too decent. Scale of 1 to 10, she a 10 piece. Usually I'm the one with the groovies. Shorty so bad.